Good morning to all. My name is Himanshu Srivastav. Today we'll read the poem A Legend of Northland by Fove Carey. This video includes stanza-wise explanation, summary, short answer type questions and long answer type questions. So let's start the poem. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad. A ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanzas. Ballad is such kind of poem which tells a story in short stanzas, and in the poem all the stanzas comprise 4 lines. In total there are 60 stanzas in this poem, and these stanzas will tell us a story. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to other generation. Folk culture comprises of traditional stories which are passed on from one generation to the next. This story is of the northern area, the Northland area, the area which is near the North Pole. This exact place is not specified, but Northland means the area in the northernmost part of the earth that is near the North Pole. Legend means a historical story on one which is very old and has been passed on from generation to generation. So let's start the poem. Away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Here it is telling in the region around the North Pole, the duration of the day is very less because its position is such that the sun rays reach for a very less time. First, it is telling about Northland, what the Northland is. When this area is experiencing winter season, the duration of night is very long and the day time hours are very less. In line 4, they refers to the people who live in that region. The poet says that the duration of the night time is so long that the people cannot sleep them through. If they go to bed, take a few hours of sleep and then they wake up. It is still night time. He wants to emphasize on the fact that the duration of the night is very long. Where? In Northland, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny furry clothes. Okay, harness means tie the reindeer with a rope. The northern region experiences severe cold conditions. It is a snowy area. The reindeer is an small animal which is found in this polar region. People tie the reindeers to sledges and then the reindeers pull the sledges. He adds that the children look like young ones of a bear because they wear funny looking clothes made of fur which is like the furry skin of a bear. In stanza 3, they tell them a curious story. I don't believe this is true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it, preaching, just as did you know. In line 1, they refers to the parents or elders, and them refers to the children or the younger generation. The elders of the Northland region tell a strange and interesting story to the younger generation. The poet says that he doesn't think that the story is true, but if he tells the story to the reader, maybe the reader could learn a lesson from it. That's why he is telling the story of the Northland. Now, what is the story? The story is about Saint Peter. When Saint Peter used to live in the world and went around giving religious lectures to the people just like all saints do, then an incident happened with him. What incident? He came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. When Saint Peter was moving around the world giving religious lectures to the people, he reached the door of a cottage where a small woman was making cakes. Okay, this cottage was located in Northland. She was baking the cakes in the fireplace. Now, and being faint with fasting For the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. Means, as Saint Peter had not eaten anything the entire day, he was very hungry and was feeling weak. So he went to this woman who was baking cakes and he asked for one cake out of the many cakes that she had baked. He asked, as he was hungry and he was feeling weak also. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. But the woman was very selfish. She didn't want to give her cake from her store to anyone, any stranger. Instead, she started making a very small cake for Saint Peter. She did not want to share her things. She found that the cakes which are in the store they are bigger. But when she put the cake for baking, she looked at it and thought that this cake was too big to be given to someone. But as she has taken small duff, she has prepared a small cake. But when she cooked it, she found that it is bigger enough to give Saint Peter. Therefore, she needed another and still a smaller one. But it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had done. Now the little miser woman thought that the cake was too big to be given, so she started making another smaller cake. When she took at that cake, she again felt, means when she baked that cake, she again felt that it was as big as the previous one. So again she was not ready, as she was very greedy. She was not ready to give the cake to Saint Peter. Then she took a tiny scrap of duff and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. Now third time she took a very small amount of duff and rolled it. The poet says that she rolled and rolled to lay emphasis on the fact that she rolled the duff and made it very thin like a wafer, and then she baked it. But she was so greedy that she couldn't give that thin piece of bread to the saint. That also she was not ready to give. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. The woman told that she ate the cakes. She felt that they were very small, but if she had to give them to someone, she felt that they are very big to be given away. Means when she eat, it appears small, but if she is giving to somebody, she is finding that they are bigger to give. That's why she is not giving. She put all the cakes on the shelf of her kitchen and she did not give any cake to Saint Peter. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Saint Peter became angry. He was very hungry. He was feeling very weak, and the selfish woman was not ready to give him even a small cake. This behavior of the greedy woman angered the saint, and he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. Saint Peter cursed the woman and said that she was very selfish. She did not deserve to live like a human being. He added that God had given her food, shelter, and fire to keep her warm, but she had become selfish for all the resources she had. Means she didn't want to share all the resources with anybody. Now, what he cursed? Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring, all in the hard, dry wood. Saint Peter cursed the woman that hence she would become a bird, means now she will become a bird because she did not deserve the human form. She shall become a bird, and just like birds build their nest by boring into the wood and collect very little food by working hard the entire day. Similarly, she would also have to work hard in the dry wood all day and get little food and make a small place for herself to live in. Means she will have to do hard work, she will get a small place, and she will become bored in the wood, in the forest. That was the curse given by Saint Peter. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. As soon as Saint Peter cursed the woman, she did not get a chance to speak for herself, because at the very moment she has turned into woodpecker, the bird. So she flew up to the roof through the chimney and flew out in the form of a bird. Saint Peter had converted the woman into a bird. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burnt black as a coal in the flame. When the woman turned into a bird, she was wearing a red colored cap on her head. That is still there. This cap was there on the bird's head, means when she turned into woodpecker. But the remaining cloths had burned and turned black in color, just like coal, means her body was black. And every country schoolboy had seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this day very day, boring and boring for food. People who live in the countryside, even the small children who go to school, they see these kind of bird in the woods. They see that she stays there all day and keeps on digging the wood with her beak to collect her food. Whenever any child sees this kind of bird, then his elders tell him this story. They say that the bird used to be a woman earlier. She was very greedy, and so she was cursed by Saint Peter and turned into a bird. They get a teaching that they should not be greedy. So this was the story. Now these are some literary devices. Stanza wise, what literary devices has been used here also in enjambment and simile. Now this is the summary of the poem, and I hope this will help you out to understand the story. Okay, so thank you.